Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 15 for February 26th, 2020. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Let's see if you can remember what the date is today.
Not today's date. Release date.
Yes.
Difference.
Yes. Still. Close enough. Hello.
Yes. Mr. Persnickety over there.
Persnickety?
Yes, Persnickety.
I wasn't being persnickety. I was just joking at your paws.
Yeah, we got some anime stuff to talk about. Just like I said last time, we are definitely talking about Sailor Moon R, but a couple of things I guess happened in the world of anime. A couple things
in general, but
some bigger, some smaller, of course. I think one big thing, of course, coronavirus is still a thing over in East Asia.
Yep,
in general.
COVID-19
it has delayed a couple anime shows. Yeah, the getting repeats. I believe one of them I saw was like Railgun was one of them I noticed. Is like a bunch of stuff's been delayed by like a week or so.
Yep.
At the very least, not surprising.
Yeah,
it's like one saying it kind of sucks, but on the other hand, it's better for these people, maybe be able to stay healthy and stuff rather than just keep slaving away on the anime.
Yes, do what's best for your health. We can wait.
Yeah, I can wait.
We can wait. Your health can't.
Yeah, so that's still a thing. The other thing was, the Anime Awards did air and whatnot. There are a bunch of things. Let's see, a bunch of winners there. Unfortunately, see, most of it, some of it, I would say that the votes got it wrong. But hey, what do I know?
That's what happens when you.
When you get stuff like Shield Hero winning stuff.
Problematic.
Yeah, but The Promised Neverland did win Best Fantasy and Best Antagonist.
Which it definitely deserved.
Yeah, so there's that at least. But yeah, Anime of the Year went to Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, which I have not watched yet, but I keep wanting to.
Keep hearing a lot about it.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. Yeah, overall, that happened. They announced a couple things, some of which I'm kind of interested in. I might check those out when they come out, when I believe this next season. Yeah, spring this season is the next one, so we'll see in the future.
Yep. See what the future holds.
Yeah. But, main topic, though, is, like I said, Sailor Moon R.
R.
Yes, not like that, though. There were no pirates here.
They are sailors, though.
Yeah, but they're not pirates. But anyway, yeah, Sailor Moon, as we said, last time, we've been watching Sailor Moon slowly but surely. We're going to be going a season at a time because, otherwise, yeah.
I don't think binge watching half a season in one night qualifies as watching it slowly.
Well, it's compared to the fact it's 200 episodes long.
Yeah.
We could try to watch all 200 episodes in 2 weeks. You want to try that?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. That wouldn't be a very good viewing experience either.
Yeah. So, Sailor Moon R continues the story of Sailor Moon and cohorts. No. Not surprisingly. Of course, having to start off with the fact that, hey, season 1 ended with them, not remembering anything about their adventures as Sailor Guardians.
A slight thing to have to resolve.
They have to fix that, so they had to begin with Usagi getting her memory back because, hey, look, there's a new threat coming along, which that's not great. Got to fix that. But yeah, that whole thing of this is familiar somehow, but I don't know why, that sort of thing, of course.
Yep.
So yeah, Luna awakens Usagi, and then the rest of the Guardians a little bit later. But not Mamoru. Not initially. He takes a while.
He's a late bloomer.
Right. And yeah, then because the whole thing was the new threat from the Hell Tree and the aliens, Ale and Ein.
Yep.
Or Ale and I think it's Isle. Yeah, it's either Isle or Ale. I think it's Ale. Or Anne. And yeah. Translations.
Yes. And pronunciations.
Okay, so of course it's Iru, if you do the literal translation. And Isle and On. Okay.
Isle and On.
I looked. Okay. They came to Earth because they're looking for energy and because that's what they feed on. And what the tree feeds on. And so they're like, hey, this planet has tons of life energy. Let's come here.
Let's come here and drain it.
So yeah, they were the first antagonists, and then after they, were defeated and all that, then the Black Moon clan came along because they were apparently banished a long time ago from the moon, and they're here for revenge, and they're doing time travel nonsense to, I guess, preemptively stop the Moon Kingdom or the Crystal Tokyo from being a thing, so that they can just easily take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Time travel.
Time travel. Yeah, and of course, Chibiusa, and don't you dare use the line. I know you're going to use it. Don't you dare.
I've already forgot it.
Good.
Oh wait, no, I remember it now.
Nope.
Time travel.
I can feel it coming. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff there. So that's, but this season is a bit different. I'm gonna just a small spoiler, I guess, for you. This season unique in the sense that this is the only one with 2 distinct arcs like this.
Right, and I think during watching you mentioned why.
Yeah.
That first section was kind of a filler and an explanation to get between season 1 and 2 what is really season 2.
So
with the
what happened? Okay, so the whole thing with Island Ein on is that, man, I'm just gonna keep tripping those up.
Yep.
Ail and Anne. Yeah, the whole thing about that whole arc was not in the original manga at all. We went from, in the original manga, it went from Dark Kingdom to Black Moon Clan.
Yep.
Here we got this arc. I'm not sure the exact reason. My understanding is probably something to do with, I think the manga was still ongoing at the time, so they're letting the manga get a little further ahead before they adapted more.
Right.
And that was the thing. So they had to fill in with 13 episodes of, and that's what I think it was 12 or 13 episodes of this whole Hell Tree thing, which was completely original to the anime and whatnot. So it kind of created a weird problem, and that the only thing that was pertinent out of all of that was the Sailor Guardians and Mamoru get their memories back.
Yep.
Everything else was largely pointless.
Yep.
And so what I find out, apparently a lot of fans don't really like that arc just because it's not really supposed to be there. And it's one of those things, kind of the about adaptations, that sort of thing.
It has to be
the book was better than the movie type stuff. It
has to be completely true to the original manga.
Yeah, even though the anime's already taken a lot of liberties and will continue to take liberties in future seasons.
Like, anytime you have a book that gets adapted to a TV show or movie, things will change. It's part of the deal. It has to happen because a lot of things in books don't work on TV.
Or something like a big example was, what was it? I can never remember. Edge of Tomorrow. That Tom Cruise
with
movie.
Tom Cruise.
That was based on a manga called All You Need Is Kill, and they completely overhauled the alien design because what worked in static panels on manga does not work really well. It's really difficult to translate to motion on a movie.
Yeah,
because they were like these weird, like crystally designs. It's like these crystal, like literally just like floating crystally diamond looking things in the manga, and then they're the.
You mean like that angel?
Kind of. Except way more intricate, like actually like crystal, and it's like trying hard to translate that to like big old action scenes and stuff with like so that sort of thing. And that sort of thing happens here in this. But it is weird how you can kind of see in that arc like how it plays out and whatnot. It feels very much like they're just trying to not rock the boat too much,
right?
So you got it feels like a lot of let's just retread stuff from the first season a little bit, except maybe just a little more tightened up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
And so the good thing, they got new powers, which then never are mentioned again after the arc's over. Because you got Fire Soul Bird or whatever.
Yeah.
Supreme Thunder Dragon, that sort of thing. These new versions of the powers that just disappear once we get to the next arc because they get even newer powers.
Yep.
They also the Moonlight Knight, which is attempted to try to redo Tuxedo Mask.
Moonlight Knight. Yep.
It's like, oh, is it Mamoru? Yes, but no, Mamoru's right there. So how is Moonlight? Yeah, and then turned out there's some weird nonsense about it was some part of him was split off for some reason, like his desire to protect Usagi or something. I don't remember what it was exactly.
Something like that.
It's kind of like, come on, guys.
Where did you pull that one out of?
Yeah, and so then eventually at the end of the arc he reunites with Mamoru, and then it's just Tuxedo Mask again.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a strange thing, and there's also the villains themselves. They're a little unusual in that they're defeated, but not the way like say the Dark Kingdom was, because they leave, they just leave.
Yep.
Because they're like they learn there's a better way.
Because it turns out the tree that has been they're trying to give energy to didn't actually want them to do that, and they're supposed to be peaceful.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they learned the better way.
And the whole thing was, Isle and An were lovers, lovers,
But they started
but they're also both have wandering eyes.
Yes.
Because Isle was the guy and An was the girl, and Isle was always looking at Usagi like, ooh, Usagi, she's my muse or whatever, and An was always kind of crushing over Mamoru, of course.
Because everyone's crushing on Mamoru.
Yeah. And the entire time Usagi remembers her and Mamoru's connection, but he doesn't. And yeah, so there's this whole love triangle weirdness going on, and Usagi kind of is a little enamored with the Isle's attention, because of course she is, because he's got all the girls' attention. Yeah, so there's this whole thing. They disguise as brother and sister, though, so you get this weird thing. It just looks like a weirdly overly protective sibling.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of funny, but it's kind of weird because it creates some awkward situations. Like, what is up with that? Why are you so angry?
Why are you mad, though?
Oh, the bit they thought for maybe, what was it? I think, was it Makoto who thought that Isle might be Moonlight Knight? Yeah. Because I know Makoto that had a bit of a thing briefly for him.
Yeah.
Trying to get his attention because he's just power walking away from his fangirls.
That was a great scene.
Before just leaping up to the roof.
Yeah,
that was the other thing was, that's the weird thing is like the writers were like able to kind of do some stuff. I guess they kind of showed some interesting ideas, but I feel like they were too reliant on just trying to preserve the status quo while waiting to be able to do the next step, the next arc from the manga.
Yeah.
So everything they tried were like, hey, we can't take things up. This whole idea of they're getting more powerful and they're getting new versions of their powers kind of was killed off by the manga the next arc of from the manga, but that sort of thing. But at the same time, they also have and also the fact that these enemies were defeated by I guess diplomacy of sorts.
Diplomacy.
And they just left Earth like, okay, bye, won't bother you anymore.
Yeah, they found a better way.
Versus having to blast them with a silver crystal.
No. Spoilers.
Well, that's what happened in the Dark Kingdom thing, remember?
Yeah, I know.
No, but there's also some little I think this is also, you were marking on one of, at least after that point, I'm not sure if it held through the season, that you felt like this kind of felt a little better.
I think it did. I think it did hold. Since you brought it up, I guess I can talk about that since it's something I said. Comparing
season 1 to 2
R to the original, because R, like you said, it's kind of weird with a double arc. Yeah. It's unique in the fact that it's got a double arc. I did feel that this season 2 R, is a lot more polished than the first season. Where my complaints on the first season, where it's very rote. It's the formulaic, the heavy formulaic. Everything is really predictable. Everything is just set up the same way, same style over, with tiny variations here and there. R, I think, did a lot better. Both arcs, I believe. The first one, the filler arc, it ended different. Things were actually different. Their goals were different. Although it still did play a lot of the same things, summon a monster to do the thing, and they defeat the monster and do it again in the next episode. There was always little bits of differences. And then it ended differently with, making them see the good. And they kind of sort of did the same in the second half as well.
It was more than half. It's the first.
Yeah, it was
only like 12 episodes.
Not a 50-50 split. Yeah, but either way, I'm still calling it half because it's easier to say. In the second arc, there was still a lot of differences in how they did the formula, even though they still stuck to the same basic one.
Yeah.
They were able to put a little bit of variance in there to keep it interesting. And I do really like that. So it did seem a lot more polished.
Still formulaic, but not to the same degree.
Yeah. They were able to throw enough variance in there to keep each implementation of the formula interesting in its own little way.
Yeah, rather than it's the same thing. It's literally the same episode.
It's literally the same episode over and over and over again. No, these
Until
ones
we
are
get to the
all
end where
different, and they all tie together, and you know, or overarching arcs, and the villains were interesting, and you know, all the different individual main villains they didn't just kill or defeat to the point where the big bad killed them.
Yeah. The other thing was I've noticed there's a lot. That's like that. That's not like this. The first season definitely had a lot of funny moments. But it's like this season felt like it ramped it up.
Yes.
Like, okay, we feel a little more comfortable doing this. Let's go ahead and be a little sillier.
And that's probably the big thing. Now that the second season, everyone's more comfortable and knowledgeable about the characters. The writers have a chance to get to know the characters. Voice actors get a chance to know the characters. The entire studio understands things a little bit more, and they're more used to it, so they can start playing with things more.
Because the one scene that has stuck out to me now, stuck out with me since the first time I watched this, was there's the episode where they wanted to go view the sakura petals and all that stuff, the blossoming, the sakura trees, and Umino goes and reserves a spot for them, and they're like, "Wow, you came here early." It's like, "Yeah, it's no big deal. I was here in my sleeping bag." She's showing he's in his sleeping bag, and Naru just goes up, and the music stops. She just quietly just zips up the sleeping bag all the rest of the way so we don't see his face anymore, and then turns around and just starts talking like it's no big deal. Like, we're just going to pretend he doesn't exist now.
It was great. The comedic pauses and just goes silent, zips up.
Yeah, it's the music. Literally the music stops.
And everything just for a second or two just stops.
Everything stops.
And then she turns. It's perfect comedic timing.
Yeah, stuff like that's like I said, that's one of the things that just shows us this distinct ramp up from season one, even though season one had its moments, and then I think even more expressive faces and whatnot, and just weird just exchanges and things like that, or the just Usagi sneaking a bit of what was it? I think it was a hot sauce or a pepper or something into like Ray's sandwich, and Ray just eats it and then pause. And then breathing fire and passing out.
Fire soul.
Yep.
Yep, that was great.
Mm-hmm. And there's stuff like that. What was the other thing I was thinking? Right. So stuff like that. But I guess moving on to the second arc, because we've kind of barely touched that, which is the longer one, the more important one, the Black Moon Clan.
Yes.
Their whole thing. And it starts off with, okay, Usagi and Mamoru, now both having the memories back, are now officially dating.
Again.
Well, they were never were initially, but now they're officially dating, which, still a bit of a problem because, again, he's in college. She's like 15.
Yeah.
So they're dating, and then they are having a kiss, and then all of a sudden a thing opens up above, and they're like, what? And then a kid falls on Usagi, and confusion. And she claims her name's Usagi.
Yep.
And then asks Usagi in a very demanding way, "Do you have the silver crystal or whatever?" And then points a gun at her. Which turned out to be a dart gun, but still.
Yep.
It looked very real. And she's there, and she forcefully inserts herself into Usagi's life.
Yes.
And
she's got a weird floating cat head thing.
Yep. Luna P. Yep. She claims she's Usagi. And she's here to find the silver crystal to save her mother and that sort of thing. And she's like a little kid. Yep. And we find out eventually she's from the future, and then blatantly, obviously, no surprise, she's actually Usagi and Mamoru's kid from the future.
Yep. From like 1,000 years in the
Crystal
future.
Tokyo. Because apparently there's a thing that happens that causes the Earth to go into a new ice age and basically be frozen in time for like 1,000 years till they all wake up and boom.
Yes,
that's pretty much what happens. It's essentially more or less what happens. Is the basic Earth closes. Under new management.
But
then it turns out she's being followed by a bunch of enemies who call her Rabbit, and they're trying to get her because of something.
They want the silver crystal too, and they also want her dead.
Yeah. And it turns out there's a reason for that. They're trying to get revenge on the Moon Kingdom, and she's, I guess the heir to the Moon Kingdom because she's the daughter of the queen.
Yep. But they also need the crystal so they can... they wanted the crystal so they could defeat the city
And they're also trying to find particular markers throughout the city to corrupt so that they can't form a barrier in the future so they can take over the city.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's going back and forth through time.
Time travel.
Yeah. And even when they're not traveling through time, they keep jumping.
Yep.
Narratively. And forward and backward as they explain things. And
A little bit.
It can be kind of jarring at times. But eventually it all starts to make sense.
Time
to a
travel's
point.
messy.
To a point.
Yeah. Yeah, because and that's the other thing. They did the kind of same thing they did in the first season, which is, us bad guys are defeated, but then here's the new crop of bad guys. They from the same group.
Yeah.
Because, you got the generals from the last season, the Dark King, and now it's like, no, you got Rubus and the sisters.
Yes, the sisters.
Initially, the Spectre sisters, and they're the initial ones. Yeah, Rubus, who's this jerk with red hair. Another thing about they have that upside down black moon symbol, which is, hey, look, it's inverted from Usagi's little moon symbol and Luna's moon symbol and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because you got Koan, Berthia, Pets, and Calaveras are the sisters.
Yep.
And they're kind of weirdly, I guess, vying for Rubus's attention.
Yes.
While trying to also do the whole...
They're vying for his attention while denying that they're vying for his attention to each other.
Fighting each other and...
Yeah. It's weird.
On 2 degrees. Some of them are kind of vying for attention, then one of them's like, men are bad and dumb. Yeah. Which, understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so their whole thing, they're trying to do that, and of course, surprising, they're failing and all that stuff until eventually the Sailor Guardians confront them and defeat them. But first, what they actually do is the sisters, they slowly, redeem them.
Yeah, well, they start to have as they view the Guardians, they kind of have are we the baddies kind of a moment. They start to question it. And then when they get defeated, they end up, turning good.
Mm-hmm. They get defeated like they're actually begging, asking for, a chance, in particular Koan. Yeah.
Yep.
Because the Koan whole thing started off with finding out that Rubus does not give a crap about her.
Yep. Broke her heart and made her realize.
She initially just went, screw it.
Yep.
Nothing matters. I'll just blow it all up. Right. And then she's talked down from that. Then you got Berthia, who's trying to do her thing with other things are all kind of counterparts to the Sailor Guardians as well, because they have powers like, Koan has kind of a dark fire and dark water, dark thunder, and dark beauty, I guess. Yeah, the counterparts to the Guardians. That's also how the Guardians unlock new powers when they're fighting these people as well. So yeah, you got that sort of thing. Is that they slowly then they're kind of all four of them as sisters are living together on Earth, just realizing how much they care about each other. Because that whole thing was they were all constantly sniping each other and realizing they genuinely do care about each other and want
Yep.
And all that stuff and don't want anything really that bad to happen to their sister. I mean, they're siblings, so of course they're gonna occasionally fight.
Of course. But at the end of the day...
Yeah, I mean, we even see that. You kind of get look, they're all trying to run a business together and still fighting over stupid nonsense, but that's siblings for you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting because, they're redeemed. They're not like with the Dark Kingdom where just, they're all killed.
Yes.
Like, they get redemption, which is nice. Then you get the second batch, which is like, oh hey, look, after Rubus and his ship is blown up, like it just in orbit, gone, bye,
boom.
Yeah, then you get Prince Demand or Prince Demande or Prince Diamond, however you want to do it, because it's one of those
Demandy Pants.
Exactly. He shows up and apparently his whole thing is like they're going to get revenge on the Moon Kingdom because they're all banished and they went off to the planet Nemesis. Yes, I know.
Yes, planet Nemesis.
Yeah, that is a thing in astronomy as well, by the way. That I remember reading about this years ago, which is this they're prepared just in case they didn't find a 10th planet in the solar system. This was like I remember reading about this in the 90s, so yeah, no, Pluto and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all prepared to have a name ready to go if they find one. And then I guess the manga author saw that one. I'll use that. So yeah, I got Planet Nemesis. Yep. Yeah, so their whole thing was that. And then they're banished to that planet, and they don't like it because it's really far away from everything else and all that stuff. And well, again, being banished kind of sucks. So
Yeah.
here we are for revenge. And also, there's Esmeralda and Sapphire and Zephyr.
Saphir.
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah, he's the brother of Prince Demand, and they're there. And then Prince Demand, of course, gets all enamored with Usagi because of her eyes, those defiant eyes of hers, because it's the same as Serenity's.
Yep.
That whole thing, and then of course the whole thing where Mamoru breaks up with Usagi.
Oh god,
because he had a bad dream.
Because he had a bad dream.
Which of course is one of those weird prophetic dreams, but still. Because apparently she was going to get hurt if they got married. So he's like, nope, ain't going to deal with that. So I'm breaking up with you. And Usagi's just sitting there.
Never explains why.
Until Usagi finally has a dream too and goes, oh, that's what we're doing. And then he's like, I'll be together anyway. But no, you can't. Yeah. It's
Mamoru's not very bright.
Yeah, Mamoru is kind of, I mean, for one thing, he's willingly dating a middle schooler.
Yeah.
Second thing, he dates a middle school, dumps her over
a bad dream.
Stupid thing like that. And so I was like,
he's not very bright.
Yeah, which is weird because other times he's shown as being very smart.
Yeah. Well, sometimes really smart people can also be really dumb in some other ways.
Usagi and Chibiusa, that's her little kid's name. Because
he can't pull them both Usagi.
That's just confusing. Yeah, she's Chibiusa because, small Usagi. I get it. Or small lady. And as Pooh calls her.
Pooh.
P-U-U.
Everyone calls her little... Small lady. Little lady?
Small lady.
Small lady.
In English.
Yep.
Yeah, they constantly fight because, hey, look, they kind of similar at times. They both wear their hair in twin tails.
The whole weirdness between Chibiusa and Mamoru.
Yeah, that's weird too, because Chibiusa's all like, I'm going to marry Mamoru, and Usagi gets all mad about that. And then they find out that, oh, right, related.
Oh.
But she still insists she's going to do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah, it's at my understanding, it's some weird, it's one of those cultural things where it's like, oh, it's cute, oh, the daughter wants to marry her dad. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I've heard of it before.
It's one of those things. It's like, don't like it. Everyone just kind of, oh, that's so cute. Whatever. Pat your head and walk away.
Pat your head. It's like a Oedipus complex, but yeah.
And so that's the bad guys. Also, they're being led by the wise man.
The wise
who
man.
turns out to not. His name is actually Death Phantom.
Death Phantom.
And he wants to destroy everything.
He is death. Nothing should live.
Yep.
But they don't know that.
Yeah, so that whole thing, that he's and they actually kind of defeat him, but no, actually didn't really work because he just reformed because oops.
Can't kill death.
Yeah, he just kind of rebuilt himself, and that's it. Yep, now until they did defeat him.
By using the power of time travel.
And silver crystals.
They got 2 silver crystals.
No, the other thing was, it turns out Chibiusa was beating herself up because she realized it's all her fault because she stole the silver crystal.
Oops.
And that caused it all to go to hell.
Yep.
Which is why she had to run to the past, and because she ran to the past in part because apparently her dad kept telling her all these stories about the invincible Sailor Moon.
Yep.
And so it's like, well, Sailor Moon can help me, right? And then she discovers Sailor Moon and Usagi are the same person. She kind of has a little bit of a breakdown over that. Yeah, and then Chibiusa also gets corrupted by the wise man into becoming the Black Lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
that got kind of weird.
Yeah, she's now older and weird and vicious and blah. Because he's all like, your parents hated you. Okay. Because he took some things, took them out of context and amplified them in her brain, I guess.
Yeah, some weird brainwashing thing.
And then they had to hire, like trying to find his corruption. It's like, no, we loved you. Okay. No, they hated you really a lot. Oh, okay.
Just, wow, you're gullible.
Well, she's like 8.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing because the time travel stuff and whatnot, and then there's Sailor Pluto's introduced.
Yep.
Because she's apparently the guardian of the time.
Guardian of the big time door.
Yeah, she all that stuff, and she's all mysterious and like just telling them weird things, and she's the one who sent Chibiusa back, and Chibiusa really wants to go back home because I miss my parents. It's like, you can't until you finish your mission. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a big confusing mess sometimes.
It can be a big confusing mess.
It's like sometimes you have to really, that's what it means then, because you got the whole, there's a time, like, how are they alive 1,000 years? Oh, because apparently there was an ice age. Okay. And they all were frozen. And then, now the Crystal Tokyo and Usagi and as Serenity now is, and Endymion are now in charge of Crystal Tokyo and who knows what else. And okay. And you got the older Sailor Guardians. Yeah, they're older now, and they're the ones who are putting up this barrier protecting everything from the Black Moon Clan, who are upset, so they go back in time to stop.
Yeah.
Which then, of course, brings up the idea of paradoxes, because if you go back in time and make it so the barrier's never there, then
you would never go back in time.
Then the barrier's not there, so you won't ever go back in time. So now the barrier will be there, and oh boy,
that depends on which.
Oh, I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah, that all depends on
what version of time travel you subscribe to on
exactly,
this, which is ill-defined.
It's very ill-defined. We don't know exactly how it works here.
Time travel. Well, the other thing, Esmeralda is she's got a thing for Prince Demand, of course, so she gets all upset when he's after Usagi. So she's all like, "It doesn't matter if you tell me to, keep her alive. I'm gonna kill her, because that way she'll be out of my way, so I can get you." Because right, and then she's turned into a dragon and killed.
Yep.
Because the wise man's like, "Hey, you can," and then the guy, "You actually thought you could do this?" Yeah.
Yep.
That whole thing, and she's got the laugh.
Oh, she has the yeah, she's got laugh. That one and the fan over the yeah. Yep. That laugh.
I love that. Yeah, because she changes up how things a little bit. She's like, got this whole, I'm just gonna put these little crystal statue things down, and they'll absorb all the dark energy around.
Oh yeah,
and they keep smashing them.
How she was gonna.
Those stupid Sailor Guardians keep smashing them. What jerks! Just trying to protect the world, I guess. Wow, how awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of, the Sailor Guardians also get themselves some, of course, new powers as we mentioned before. Like Ray gets Burning Mandala, Mercury gets Shine Aqua Illusion. Let's see.
I don't even remember all.
Venus gets Venus Love Me Chain.
Oh yeah.
And Jupiter gets Sparkling Wide Pressure.
The names make no sense.
Well, Burning Mandala makes sense,
I guess, but the rest of them could make sense. The Love Me Chain is a bit
Venus Love Me Chain.
A bit worrying, but okay, I guess if you're into that.
It's a chain made of hearts. Yeah. The other thing is, speaking of Venus, she gets better characterized in this. Because, remember our thing about last season was she barely gets any time. And here, basically, turns out she's more or less a twin of Usagi.
Yeah, they're very similar.
The blondes.
To each other.
They act very similar. They're both very scatterbrained. Well-meaning, but mess up. And then on top of that, again, Minako there also has the problem of phrasing,
getting
stuff.
The phrases wrong.
Getting phrasing completely wrong. But yeah, she's also like, there's the episode with everyone's getting sick except for Minako, and she tries to go help.
Oh no!
And they're trying to call each other ahead and warn them that Minako's coming. Watch out!
Watch out! She's going to try and help you get better.
That's not so bad. Oh, you don't understand.
You do not understand.
Yeah, so she gets a much more characterization in this one because, well, she's been here the entire time.
Yep.
So they're able to flesh her out a lot much better. So yeah, she's pretty much on the same level as everyone else. I mean, everyone else also gets their little bits of stuff like, particularly when they face off against their counterparts, the sisters from the Black Moon clan and whatnot. Yeah, they get their fleshing out of whatnot of things, and you see like Ray is really protective.
Yes.
Of Usagi.
Yes.
And whatnot. I believe this is a season where there was oh no, Ami might move away.
Yeah, this was it. Because she was like gonna
go to a school in like Germany or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And there was a whole big thing of we want her to stay, but we don't want to tell her to stay because
Yeah,
we want what's best for her.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't want to do certain things that make because we know if we do, it's going to make her change her mind.
Yep.
And that whole thing. And then she ends up changing her mind and staying anyway.
Yep, because that's what you do.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. There's some Makoto stuff. I'm trying to remember specifics on that. Oh, there was that one episode Makoto and Minako were fighting over because of love or something and whatnot. They're fighting over stuff like that because they're both like fighting each other because you can't let go of your past love. It's like, well, neither can you. Usagi's meanwhile bawling her eyes out because memory won't even talk to me.
Yep, that's all that she's focused on.
Yeah, it's fun. Also, Artemis, poor Artemis. He just gets sometimes oh, you're the guy, so and yeah, he just occasionally does blunder into stupid situations that were easily preventable, but
yeah,
for the most part, he's well-meaning. I don't get it. I'm confused.
Or the whole episode that was just based on Artemis.
Yeah,
where he tries to do his own thing to try and prove himself, but there's also it's like they're getting on his case for stuff that really isn't his fault.
Yeah, what a bunch of jerks. Teenagers, am I right?
God, teenagers.
Yeah. Getting back to Chibiusa, it's interesting is if she is a child character added to the cast partway through the series.
Yay!
She is pretty divisive from what I've seen online. A lot of people don't really like her that much. Other people think she's fine, but I don't see a whole lot of genuine like love for her as a character. So that's an interesting thing in of itself. So yeah, it's kind of that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, child she kind of one of those things. She don't outright ruin things for the show or anything, but yeah.
She is a plot device. So
yeah, she's largely a plot device in this.
It's like you couldn't. How much could
but
you?
She
do
does have that weird.
Her?
Hey, look, doing that thing of like, hey, look, the offspring of the main character has an unusually high amount of power. Or blah, blah.
Yeah. Although it's explained because she has a silver crystal embedded in her, so of course she has a ton of power.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
She is the silver crystal.
She's not but
because it kind of absorbed into her.
Yeah, but it's not
when
is the silver crystal. She just has it in her.
Yeah, it's absorbed into her.
Yeah, that whole thing.
It's a weird thing.
There's a lot. We always
how they're able to defeat death. By combining the power of 2 silver crystals, they defeated death.
Yeah, they were able to use their both silver crystals to defeat the Death Phantom.
Yeah,
completely. He's like, what? No,
Nani?
and of course, the power of the other Sailor Guardians. Because everyone got to come together.
Yep.
The other thing I want to mention is episode 68 specifically, where the animation just jumped up a notch for no real reason other than, wow, that looks really good. Because if you watch that episode, it's the episode where they're fighting the sisters in a construction yard, and whoa.
Yeah,
something happened.
Out of nowhere, the animation just got really good.
Yeah. Like, there's this one scene in particular where, like, Mercury dodges something. Like a shot from one of the sisters, and like, whoa,
so smooth.
It's like so good looking. Like, what happened? Did they just? I mean, it's supposed to be kind of a big deal of an episode, but like, dang,
yeah,
they went. Whoever the animators were on this one, they went in.
Yes, they did, and it turned out really well.
It's like, because I remember just watching and go, what happened? I'm like, I'm expecting how they got used to a certain quality level, and then this suddenly just cranked it up.
Yep.
And the other thing was the music. Again, they changed up the music for the transformation sequence.
Yeah,
very much. It's actually, I think I'm gonna say this right now. This is probably the music in this transformation sequence. Probably my favorite of the transformation music of the whole series.
It was pretty good. Changing.
And so I think not to like say the others were bad or anything, but this one I think is my favorite. Just overall how the music works and everything. They also the actual animation for this transformation sequence is different too. At least for Moon, everyone else is exactly the same.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but yeah, they kept the same OP, and they pretty much that's their thing. It's just although the OP song, the actual
they changed the visuals, but
the visuals changed. There's 2 different ones in this one. So that's a thing. Although it is funny, yeah, the whole Planet Nemesis thing is just funny in general, just because, like, you know, seeing it's like, I remember thinking, like, oh, there's another planet. They wouldn't actually use that one, would they? Nah, they oh my God, they actually used that name.
Look.
And I'm just kind of laughing.
You made it into Sailor Moon without even knowing.
And, you know, in my looking at FanWorks, and more than one person has used it as an excuse for an OC. Because, you know, Sailor Guardians each represent a planet. There's a 10th planet.
Sailor Nemesis.
Yeah. I just find that funny. I've seen it more than once. Actually, one was interesting because it was a whole bad guy coming with revenge thing. So it turned out because, you know,
yes.
Sailor Guardian got corrupted and went all bad. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's seen on more than one occasion because, well, hey, he got an open avenue for an OC there.
Yep. Yep.
Take it.
Take it.
The other thing I think big thing got to talk about is the season finale.
The season finale
of the Sailor Moon R. That was certainly a way to end the season. Because the season finale is a clip episode.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I feel they were able to get away with that is because literally season three literally premiered the next week after, way back in the 90s. If that wasn't the case,
that would have been a horrible way to do things. That would have just been what?
I mean, the sheer gall to end a season on a clip episode.
Yeah.
And here's some clips from the next season and some voiceovers that kind of relate to things on screen, but not really. And it's just kind of the Sailor Guardians kind of goofing around, more or less. I mean, clip episodes tend to be not good in general, just because of their very nature. And we occasionally get one that's actually not too bad. Like, I think one, for example, would be Legend of Korra, had a pretty good clip episode, all things considered.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the weirdest and worst clip episodes I've ever seen of anything.
Imagine getting hyped up for the week to watch the season finale and getting that.
They even they even actually went ahead and said it's a special episode of Sailor Moon. It's like, are you serious?
A very special episode.
Not a very special episode. This ain't Clone High. But yeah, they actually the previews from the actual, I guess, season finale from beforehand advertised as a special episode. The only thing that was kind of neat about it was they played all 4 OPs at once. So you can see without text, so you can see all 4 of them playing out at the same time over this, because, well, they all use the same song anyway. So hey. But other than that, and also the weird thing is, I'm not sure, I think it's something to do with what copy they had, but yeah, it looks like Viz Media's copy that they put on Hulu is like, it's not the original.
Yeah, it's like
like someone took it off a VHS tape, and that's what we got.
Oof.
That's all we got, and so it's like, it's better than not having it at all, I guess, but it's not particularly amazing either. Because it's not in great, it looks noticeably worse than every other episode in this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a so strange thing, and it's like that was just not the greatest move, I think, to end the season like that. But
you do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like this, they had a number they had to reach, and they didn't quite hit it.
Yep. So just threw that one on the end. Just
tack that on, I guess, and we'll just understand that, well,
next week's another new one.
Yep, next season will premiere in a week. So don't worry, because yeah, that's the whole thing. But I think I mentioned last time was Sailor Moon, just pretty much other than a handful of times, pretty much week after week after week was airing new episodes for 200 weeks, basically over 200 weeks.
Yeah, I do not pity the people working on that show.
Yeah, it's better though than having to work on 5 episodes a week for
daily. Yeah,
like Transformers, which. Well, some of it was the same studio, remember?
Yeah.
Toei Animation. So it's like, oh.
We got to get 5 new episodes every week. New episode a day.
Hey, why is the animation so bad? Gee, I wonder why.
Because they only had like 20 minutes to do it.
Yeah, so, yeah, overall, I think, like you said, this is, and I agree, this is, Sailor Moon R is largely an improvement over Sailor Moon Season 1.
Yeah, it just...
It's still genuinely
better.
It's genuinely entertaining at times, and it feels better overall and whatnot.
Yeah, I didn't start to get that feeling of slogging through episodes, even though we basically paced it the same as the first season. It didn't have that same sort of
Can this be over
Just
now?
gotta keep going.
Yeah,
just a few more.
Is it over yet? No.
Yeah, it didn't
How's
hit
it
that
not
same.
over?
It didn't hit that same level of feeling like a chore or starting to slog through it because it was better done.
Yeah. It was overall much better done. And characters, we got, they're still moving forward as characters. Even you see Usagi, like, she's still a bit of a crybaby at times, but at the same time, she also can recognize that when she needs to just, stop crying and get stuff done.
Yep.
She's much better about that than she was in the last season, showing character growth.
Yep.
And I think we see them all kind of go through their character growth moments and whatnot. So, woo. Yeah,
Character growth is always fun.
Yeah, it's still a fun anime to watch, and even better than last time. And well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I think season 3 is even better.
Fun.
Who knows? You might disagree.
I might disagree, but we'll have to see.
We'll find out.
We will.
We'll find out. But that's not for a little bit longer, because I think we're more or less done-ish. I'm trying to think of much else, though. I guess Endymion was a ghost, I guess, in the future, because I guess he died.
Sort of.
Or something. He didn't die. He was like...
die. He was trapped.
He was trapped in something, so he's somehow projecting his spirit out to help them. And then that said spirit is able to press keys on the console. It's like... sure.
Whatever. It's future tech.
Sure. We'll just roll with it.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, shut up. It's fine.
Also, another thing is we've seen people actually notice the bad things happening around them and freaking out. Like there's a giant crystal growing. Everyone's like, well, we're out.
Yep.
Gotta evacuate because there's something going on here.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah, and the ending, the huge black crystal. Evacuate the city.
And of course, Usagi and Chibiusa kind of coming to an understanding somewhat, but still arguing a bit with each other. And Chibiusa going home because, well, she's got to go back to the future.
Back to the future.
Back to the future. But not, unfortunately, not in the DeLorean.
That
would have been the cool way to do it, but no. Had to use a key on a necklace. And a door.
A door, key, and a door. Jeez.
Lame. Come on, Pluto, you can do better than that. Yes, the mysterious sailor Pluto, who doesn't do much.
Do much.
Well, she technically does a lot, but she doesn't really say much. We don't see much of her. We just know she exists.
Yep.
And she guards time. Oh, and Chibiusa calls her Pooh. And she can't help them because she has to sit here and guard the door, because apparently anyone could just possibly... I don't know how that works.
They don't explain how that works or why she has to stay there.
Gotta guard the door.
Because apparently the villains can just go through...
Possibly, even though...
They can just travel through time through some other method.
Yeah, so it's like... So
then what's the point?
Then
why do you have to guard the door? No one actually
has
to use it.
But you didn't do anything.
There it is. My job here is done.
Ray's still weird. Still kind of weird. Occasional really selfish behavior, but occasionally not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, that reminds me at this point still. Is your Mars and Jupiter still your favorites?
Still those two. They're great.
All right. I guess that's it. This one, hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, you can check out past and future episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn. You can check them out there on via the RSS feed and subscribe that way. And of course, you could also see the other ways to subscribe, which will all be listed on a bunch of buttons at the top of that page.
Buttons.
Under the big whole logo. Buttons, because you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube. On any of those services, search for New to Weeaboo and subscribe via that way. And then YouTube, in particular, you should like, comment, and subscribe as well. About that. Like, comment, subscribe. Yes. And on Google Play, you have to go to play.google.com/music, or else it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, because that's just how they set it up. So you can check us out on those things, and you could also email us if you want to at newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. So no questions, comments, criticisms, anime suggestions. What do you think of Sailor Moon? Did you ever watch it? I don't know. Did you agree with our assessment that season 2 is largely better than season 1? Even though for some reason apparently some people really just hate that first arc, even though I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
It worked pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Other than just it kind of largely being irrelevant. But hey.
Ended up being irrelevant at the end, but I think it was okay.
Anyway, there's that. You can contact us there. And you can follow us on Twitter at new to Weeaboo. See us there, tweeting about stuff, new episodes and whatnot. I swear I will start tweeting more often at some point. I'm trying. I just need to come up with something relevant to say about anime. The problem is sometimes I get to that point of I'm not really watching a lot of anime right now because I'm trying to keep things fresh in my head from the last anime we're supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. Don't watch other anime because I'll forget everything else about the anime we're supposed to talk about.
Yep. Only got so much room in the head.
Yeah, that's the problem. So that's it for this one. Join in a couple weeks. We'll be talking about Stella Women's Academy High School Division Class C3.
That's quite the mouthful.
Yes, it is. Or just Stella Women's Academy, if you please.
That's probably easier to say and remember.
Yeah, but I just had to say the whole title. We'll be talking about that. It's sure to be a fun time. I'm very much interested to see your reaction to it. Yep, that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. So, bye.
See ya.